Now, I'm no stranger when it comes to the Shin Megami Tensei games, also known as SMT for short. I have played SMT4, SMT4 Apocalypse, as well as Devil Survivor 2, Soul Hackers. I'm about halfway through Nocturne at the time of recording this. I've also watched Let's Plays for both the Digital Devil Saga games, as well as played Persona 3, 4, 5, Q, as well as watching a Let's Play of Persona 2. Needless to say, I'm a pretty big fan of this series, but today I'm going to be talking about the newest game on the 3DS, which is Strange Journey Redux, which is a remake of the original DS title, Strange Journey. This remake offers so much compared to the original game. It includes 3 new endings, a full new dungeon, voice acting, which admittedly the voice acting is purely Japanese, but we'll get into that later on. Redone sprites, more demons, updated artwork. All the demons have animations now. It's just so much. There's just so many quality of life changes that make the game such an overall better experience than it was when the original game came out. Also, don't worry, because this review will be absolutely spoiler free, other than me just talking about the setting of the game and the game's mechanics. Essentially stuff you find out if you read the back of the game case, so don't worry about any spoilers at all. So basically in this game, you're a nameless American soldier, or a Japanese one in the Japanese release, fun fact about that one, who decided he would volunteer to go on a mission with the rest of the world's best army men and women to the Schwarzwelt, which I probably butchered that pronunciation, but who cares about that, which is essentially another dimension that opened up in Antarctica and is going to completely swallow the earth if something isn't done about it. But don't worry, my guy. The world government has equipped you with a Demonica, which is basically just a combat spacesuit that grows the more you use it. So fun fact about this game is that your main character, other than his army training, he's basically just a normal guy. He doesn't have any crazy demon lord powers or superhuman strength. You're just kinda a dude. The Demonica is where all your stats come into play. When you first put it on, the Demonica asks you a few personality quiz questions, and depending on how you answer them, the Demonica will actually have a higher chance of getting certain stats when you level up. So essentially, after you do the personality quiz, let's say for example, you might have a higher chance of getting magic when you level up as opposed to agility or physical strength. Now, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get magic, but it's more skewed towards it, and depending on how you answer these questions will determine the chances of what stats you're gonna get, so it's pretty dang important. But let's talk about the meat of the game for a minute, which is a first-person grid-based dungeon crawl. So if you played Persona Q, the Etrian Odyssey games, or Soul Hackers, all games by Atlas, you should feel familiar with it. In the top right of the top screen, there's a little icon that will flash different colors the more you walk around, and if it is red, you should get ready for an encounter with a demon. Now, the battle system is fairly straightforward in Strange Journey. You can attack a demon whether by hitting it with a physical attack, a gunshot, or magic attacks, depending on what you have available to you at the time. Skills and magic take away MP, and if you run out of MP, you can't use your skills. It's pretty straightforward. Most enemies have strengths and weaknesses, and you're going to want to capitalize on said weaknesses if it's available to you, some of which should be pretty simple to guess. Using fire on an ice demon like Jack Frost is probably gonna make short work of them. On top of attacking, you also have a defend option, which will reduce how much damage you take and make it so you don't take the full brunt of attack you're weak against. So let's say for example you're weak to fire and you know your enemy's gonna use fire and you cannot switch out. If you defend, you won't take the super effective damage from it, so it can be very helpful in those tight situations. You can also use items, which is a pretty self-explanatory thought. Items can heal your health, recover you from stats conditions, or even attack your enemies with them. There's a whole variety of items you can get, so it would take me way too long to go over each and every item, but there's an item for almost every occasion. There are even items that can flat out reflect physical and magic attacks back at your opponents. So items are pretty dang big as well, but they're pretty self-explanatory. Every item has a description and will tell you what it does, so no problem with those. But the big part of these battles that you might not know if you haven't played an SMT game before is that you can talk with demons, and if all goes well, the demon might give you money, a rare item, or even become your ally. The catch though is that demons can be really unpredictable. You're gonna want to talk the demon up, get them in a good mood, essentially just suck up to them if I'm being honest with you. But the thing is, if things go bad and you say the wrong thing, they can go really bad really fast. For example, I talked to a succubus once, and if you don't know, succubus are demons that essentially visit men in the night and have intercourse with them, and that gives them life. That's how the succubus lives. So when I approached the succubus, she asked me why I did so. My options were to tell her that she was charming, she was sexy, or that I didn't even know why. Seeing how her entire mythology is about giving men the sauce so she can live, I decided to tell her I found her charming. Cause you know, I thought sexy might have been too much, and I didn't want to say I don't know why, because that sounds stupid, but charming, that might be the way to go. For some reason, she took that as an insult, and the talk was ruined. My entire turn wasted, and I had to take the full brunt of the enemy's attacks, which wasn't just the succubus, it was the succubus and 2 other demons, so I had to take 3 attacks because I said the wrong thing at the wrong time. Another example is that I was talking with Pyrojack, and Pyrojack was talking about how cute he was, and he asked if I agreed. So when I said I agreed that I found Pyrojack cute, he got angry because I didn't find him scary since he's technically a demon, and he left the battle, flat out walked away from me. So as you can get from those examples, talking with demons can kinda be a crapshoot. It always has been in every game other than Nocturne, where you can literally brainwash the opponent into doing whatever you want when you talk to them. But other than that, it's basically been a crapshoot. But you gotta do it if you want to add these demons to your team, which is a very, very big integral part of the games. If things do go well, this demon still won't join you for free. Don't think you're done yet. They will still ask for stuff from you. Sometimes they want some of your money, sometimes they want certain items from you, sometimes they want some of your magic, your MP, and sometimes they want some of your HP. But after committing highway robbery on you, they will more than likely join you and become your demon. If you're very, very unlucky, everything will go fine. They'll commit highway robbery and take all this stuff from you, and then they'll walk away. So sometimes it's still bad. Sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen. Sometimes it's still a bad thing. Another thing to mention is that the demons in this game have alignments, and so do you. You start off as neutral as a blank piece of paper, but depending on your actions in the game, you can side with law and be a justice-seeking good guy, or you can side with chaos and be evil incarnate, or you can stay being a blank piece of paper. Certain demons will like you better depending on your alignment, and this can make talking with them easier. Also, some demons just flat out won't join you if you don't align with them. So if you are essentially the devil, evil incarnate, don't expect an angel to join your side. It's just probably not gonna happen. Alignment is also extremely important in battles in this game, because if you hit an enemy's weakness in this game, if you have any allies on your active team of the same alignment, they will join in for a team attack. That might do more damage than the original attack. It's a very, very strong team attack. So sticking with demons of your own alignment is definitely the way to go. You don't want to have a team of a whole bunch of different alignments. You want to have your teammates of the same alignment as your main character. So seeing how you start the game off as neutral as a blank piece of paper, it's gonna be good to add other neutral demons to your side. Now, the music in this game is something that's kinda hit or miss for me right now. While a lot of the game's music sounds very dull, mysterious, and kinda quiet, it fits the setting perfectly. You are literally in a demon dimension in Antarctica. People are dying. You are lost in this new world where a wrong turn can literally be your death. So the quiet and serious music makes sense in a game like this. Now, as good as these other songs are, songs like Persona 3's Mass Destruction or Persona 5's Last Surprise really wouldn't fit the mood here and would actually kind of ruin it. That being said though, a lot of music in this game sounds very, very, very similar, and I found myself not really caring about it that much. Also, other than your ship, which is basically just a menu hub, the entirety of the game takes place in dungeons, which makes for a lot of repetitive battles since they are all random encounter based. Imagine if the entirety of a Pokemon game took place in caves. While you might not get into battles after literally 1 or 2 steps like in Pokemon, you're still going to get into enough where battles seem more annoying to do than anything, as you're just trying to get from point A to point B. This doesn't help the fact that this game has a ton of backtracking, as the dungeons are all maze-like, so you might go down a long area just to be greeted with a single item that might not be worth the 4 battles it took to get to it and to get back to where you were going. This also doesn't help the fact that the higher level you get in this game, the less experience you earn, to the point where if you get to a certain high level, like high enough level, you flat out won't earn experience from battles anymore. So with this high encounter rate included with that, it makes it very annoying. Unfortunately, negatives don't just stop there. While not a negative for some, and honestly not a big negative for me, but it's still something that's worth mentioning, the voice acting in this game is all Japanese, like I said earlier. My problem with this is that all other SMT games on the 3DS had English voice acting that was done to pretty dang good levels. It was pretty dang acceptable. And when the first hour of this game is almost all talking because the game needs to explain itself, because I mean, you're going to Antarctica to fight demons. It's pretty. It needs to have some context. It can be pretty dull when you're already done reading all the text, but you're trying to listen to the character reactions from a voice you can't understand. So you end up just skipping a lot of this voice acting, even though a lot of this game is voice acted. You just end up skipping it. Also, the first time exploring an area can be honestly kind of annoying, as the first time you see a new demon in this game, it will appear as blue pixels, being completely unknown to you, making the first battle kind of a crapshoot on what attacks to use. And when you factor in some enemies can reflect certain attacks, you can and will get punished by it. Take for example my earlier talk about Jack Frost being weak to fire. Now if I saw Jack Frost, even if the game didn't tell me his weakness, I can take a guess that a snowman would be weak to fire and probably like ice. But if I can't even see what he looks like, I might use ice just to see if it works, then end up hurting myself or even dying. This has happened to me twice already in this game, where I can't see the enemy because it's the first time I fought the enemy. I use an attack on him, it gets reflected back at me, I do so much damage to myself to where when the actual enemy attacks me, I'm dead. And if the main character dies, you get a game over. There's nothing else to it. You have to go back to the last time you saved the game. So it's really annoying getting punished for that when the game wants you to take that experiment, because you have no idea what you're facing at that point. In other SMT games, they at least show you what the enemy looks like. It doesn't tell you the enemy's weaknesses the first time you fight them, but it will show you what they look like. And to me, that's perfect because you at least have some idea of what you're facing off against. In this game, you're going up against the complete unknown the first time you fight against it. Which, to be fair, is kind of cool for the whole difficulty setting, but if you actually end up dying from it and you haven't saved in a while, it's pretty dang stupid. At the end of the day though, between the multiple original endings and all the new endings added in Redux, which makes a total of 6 endings for this game, as well as over 350 demons to collect, side quests to do, you will 100% get your money's worth out of this game. Be it if you just play the main story once over and never touch it again, or if you replay it over and over again to see all these different endings, you're gonna get your money's worth. That is a guarantee. That is a flat guarantee. All in all, I'd give this game an 8 out of 10. While the game does have a few points I don't really enjoy, such as the slow beginning and pretty bland characters, other than Jimenez. Jimenez is pretty freaking fun. Other than that, I don't like many of the characters in this game. The core game itself is great, and I'd recommend it to any SMT fan with a 3DS, or any fan of old school JRPGs, to be honest. I can't really recommend it to newcomers though, as SMT games are known for being difficult, and this one is no exception, and is actually one of the harder ones I've played. I put it up there with Nocturne on the difficulty radar. Admittedly, I'm playing on expert mode, so that might factor into it. But from what I've gathered from other players, this game is hard even on the lower difficulties, especially the first boss, which will probably be a roadblock for you if you have not played an SMT game before. If you want a gateway game into the mainline SMT series, I'd recommend SMT4 first over this one, but this game is still great and amazing in its own right. With that, I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video I decide to put out. I'm out.